Hello, my name is City, and I want to walk you through a strategic playbook that's really been honed over 26 years of leading global HR transformations. And this isn't just about managing people, it's about architecting real, tangible business value. We're going to be looking at this from a board level view, really focusing on governance, ROI, and of course, long term sustainability. Okay, so here's our roadmap. We're going to move through 5 key chapters. We'll kick things off with that all important mindset shift. Then we'll look at a high stakes transformation in the real world. After that, we'll talk about scaling globally, building for what's next, and we'll wrap up by looking at the core philosophy that makes it all work. All right, first up, let's tackle what I think is the most critical evolution in business today, the role of human resources itself. This is all about the shift from HR being seen as a support function to taking its rightful place as a central pillar of our entire corporate strategy. And here's the bottom line. That old view of HR as just a cost center, well, it's completely obsolete. The new reality is that the CHRO is a strategic architect. Every single people-related decision we make has to be directly tied to maximizing our human capital return on investment, our ROI, and pushing the company's long-term goals forward. Our people are the engine of this business, and this is how we measure their true impact. Now, let's see how this strategic mindset holds up under pressure. Because at the end of the day, any leader in the C-suite is defined by how they navigate those make-or-break moments of change. And this next section, well, it's a masterclass in compassionate, risk-free restructuring. So picture this. The state government mandates that we have to divest one of our company's largest assets, a huge quarry. Now, this decision directly impacts 40% of our entire headcount. And to make things even trickier, we have to negotiate with 2 powerful in-house unions. The potential for financial loss, for operational chaos, and for damage to our reputation, it was just enormous. And let's be really clear about the human scale of what we were facing. 400 is not just some number on a spreadsheet. No, it represents 400 careers, 400 families. Their entire lives were being directly impacted. So managing this didn't just require a logistical plan, it absolutely required an empathetic one. So how was it all handled? Well, not with chaos, but with a clear, methodical, 4-step playbook. It all started with absolute transparency and just constant communication. Next, the team actively explored alternatives and outplacement services. We weren't just showing people the door. That was followed by comprehensive severance packages and, this is so important, a real commitment to upskilling affected employees to get them ready for their next opportunity. And this right here, this is the outcome. 0. Not a single legal claim was filed against the company. Now that is the direct result of a people-centric strategy. It transformed what could have been a devastating liability into a respectful, smooth transition. We completely mitigated our legal and financial risk, all while protecting the company's brand. Okay, now let's scale this up. This playbook isn't just for putting out fires. It's about architecting robust, scalable systems that actually prevent crises from happening in the first place. This is all about creating that efficient global architecture you need to really thrive. Now, what's really interesting here is the sheer complexity and the timeline. After a big merger, the job was to integrate and harmonize everything: policies, workflows, culture, benefits across 9 different countries. And each one has its own labor laws, its own cultural norms. And the deadline? Just 6 months. A huge ask. And as you can see, the transformation was pretty stark. We went from post-merger chaos to a unified, cohesive organization in just 6 months. The key takeaway, especially for this group, is right there on the bottom line. We went from high compliance risk to 0 issues. This created the stable platform we absolutely needed for global growth, all while navigating the maze of 9 different sets of labor laws. And here's a very concrete example of what that operational excellence looks like. Our global HR service desk used to be a real bottleneck. It was taking over 5 days to resolve even minor issues. By putting in clear ownership and standard operating procedures, we cut the resolution time for minor cases by almost half. But more importantly for this board, those major business-critical cases were getting resolved within 24 hours. This isn't just about being efficient. It's about minimizing that operational drag and letting our teams focus on what they do best: revenue-generating activities. Great systems are one thing, but they're nothing without the right people. And that brings us to the really forward-looking part of this playbook: proactively architecting a workforce that isn't just ready for today, but is actually built for tomorrow's disruptions and growth. This timeline really shows our journey. We've moved from that old school manual, compliance-driven work to where we are now as a strategic partner. But the future, that's where it gets really exciting. We're leveraging technologies like AI for automation and predictive analytics. And this isn't just about cutting costs. It's about using these powerful tools to predict attrition risks in key divisions, which frees up our best people to focus on high-value strategic work and, of course, enhancing the overall employee experience. So, how do we actually architect this future-ready organization? Well, first, we leverage AI and automation to bring down those operational costs. We build robust succession plans, which is a critical piece of our governance. We use strategic workforce planning and targeted upskilling to close those future skill gaps before they become a problem. We foster our leadership pipeline through executive coaching. And we are constantly enhancing our employee value proposition because we have to win the war for talent. And finally, a playbook is only as effective as the philosophy that holds it all together. This isn't just about what we do, it's about why we do it. This is the ethos that really drives the execution. This quote really gets to the heart of it. True leadership, the kind that creates sustainable success, isn't just about hitting quarterly targets. It has to be purpose-driven. It's about empowering people and building something of real, lasting value. And, this isn't some soft concept. It leads to hard business outcomes. Things like higher engagement, a stronger employer brand, and a much more resilient organization. So as we wrap up this overview, the final question isn't just about what one person achieved. It's really a challenge to all of us at the leadership level. We all say it, our people are our greatest asset. So the real question is this: how are we, as a board, architecting our organization to truly and fully maximize their return?